Solution. I'm Mary Trimble and I'm here to give you your readings for this week for the March the 5th through March the 11th. And there's a lot going on astrologically, so I wanted to do a little report first. These readings are for your sun, moon and rising, so if you want to check out the other videos, there'll be links in the show more section below. Now, if you're checking out a couple of them, I will put the time that you can skip this report so you don't have to look at it every single time you check the video, a different video. So anyway, it's very exciting this week, right? Because we have two planets moving into Aries. Now, they're moving from Pisces into Aries. Now, Pisces is the last zodiac sign, and it has a little bit of everyone in it, every other sign in it. And it's like winter, right? And when we move into Aries, Aries is the beginning of the astrological year. It's like spring has finally sprung. Now, even though the sun is still in Pisces, we're going to have Mercury, the planet of thought, intellect, communication, is going to move into Aries on Tuesday, I believe it is, Tuesday the 6th, 5th or 6th, around there. And Venus is going to join Mercury. And Venus is the planet of love, finances. So we're going to feel kind of spring-like, like a new beginning. Before it actually happens, we're going to have that feeling of new beginnings. It's going to be a lovely feeling, and it's interesting because Venus has been very happy in Pisces. Pisces is very spiritual and sensual and loving, and it's, you know, Venus can spread its wings. And then when Venus moves into Aries, it's very kind of in the moment, you know, passionate, yes, maybe one night stands, yes, maybe not, you know, long-term relationships, but definitely fun and passionate and interesting. So she was soft and sensuous in Pisces, and she's going to be coquettish in Aries, so it'll be an interesting feelings, and we're definitely going to feel that. Now, on the 8th, we have Jupiter, the planet of expansion, philosophy, deep thoughts and abundance, and also on the shadow side of that, overindulgence and overdoing things. So that's moving retrograde on the 8th. Now, what's interesting about, it's a very slow moving planet, so it's almost subtle. We will feel a change, but we kind of won't be able to put our finger on it. But it's definitely important to think about what we're expanding, where we're going. This is kind of, because Jupiter's about kind of the whole, the planet globally. And Jupiter is in Scorpio right now. So it's interesting, whenever a planet goes retrograde, the zodiac sign that it's in is kind of amplified. So Scorpio is about sexuality, it's about secrets, it's about deep things. And Jupiter, when that goes back, we may have a new resurgence globally about all these secrets coming out. You know, it's also about empowerment, so we might have more like Me Too movement. So we might see a lot of, you know, power, the abuse of power. So we might see some secrets coming up again, you know. And so that's something that we can look out for. But for ourselves, we need to look inside, and we need to, you know, think about how, what secrets are we keeping? Well, how can we take back our power? You know, what is going on with us that we need to kind of you know, look at those things. So always when a planet goes retrograde, it's really good to look at where we stand with those qualities. On the 11th, Mercury is going into a challenging aspect to Saturn. Mercury is the planet of thought and communication, intellect, and Saturn is the planet of restriction, boundaries, and sometimes they say accidents, right? This can be kind of a mentally frustrating, challenging time. So if we're aware of that, we might feel it a couple of days before, we might feel it a couple of days afterwards. We can observe it and say, ah, that's where that's coming from, and not react to it. Now, at the same time, which is, I'm sorry, I'm looking at my notes because, you know, my mind is not what it used to be. Yeah, we have Mars at the very same time, we have Mars moving into a positive aspect. Mars in Sagittarius actually is moving into a positive aspect to Uranus. So this can mean sudden things are going to move forward, right? Because it's very fiery. Sagittarius is a fire sign. Aries is a fire sign, so we're going to feel that, you know, things are going to kind of move fast. So I think it's going to kind of offset that frustration mental thing that's going on, because maybe we're frustrated because we can't get everything done because everything's moving so fast. And, you know, Uranus is the planet of sudden happenings, surprises. So I think, and you know, Mars is the planet of action and, you know, moving forward. So things are definitely moving forward fast this week. So I think that might be a good thing. So much is happening astrologically this week. It's kind of exciting energy, a lot of fiery kind of spring energy. That's why I decided to wear a lot of color this week. Anyway, let's go to the cards, shall we? Hello Aries, and welcome to your reading for March the 5th through March the 11th. And your cards, let's go straight to your cards. This is a general reading, Aries. If you would like a personal reading, you can find that information in the Show More section below. Now, the first card that comes up is the Four of Pentacles, which makes me think that you are holding on to something. And looking at your cards, I feel that you're holding on to kind of, this could mean that you're holding on to money because you're afraid to spend it, and money's energy, but I'm really getting something else with this. I'm getting that this is your fundamental belief system, Aries, that you're holding on to. Clarifying this card, right? So this is something that you need to let go of. You need to change the way you view things, your perception on life in general. You're being called to make a huge transformation internally, and I'll tell you why. First of all, clarifying this, the Four of Pentacles, right? Look, he's holding on to that coin, right? You're holding on to something that's not working for you anymore, and it's about, and I know you can be very steadfast, you know, so it's very important to try to remain open, Aries, to this. You've got the Seven of Autumn, right? And look, he's got I'm sorry, a message just came down. I was a little distracted by that. He's got butterfly wings, which definitely signifies change, right? Now, this is saying, look, stop worrying, right? Have patience. Take time to look at the situation from a different perspective, Aries. You know, things change when you change. Things change when you change your perception of things. This is about really, honestly, taking a look at, because sometimes we can be in panic mode and things aren't happening as fast as we want them to, right? So this is about being, I feel that you're in fear, right? You're in fear. You don't think that you're going to be able to make it, kind of thing. It's either financially or it's about the material realm for sure. So, you know, you're not getting paid fast enough. Things aren't happening. You're not getting the accolades. You're not getting a promotion. You're not getting the raise. Whatever it is for you, Aries, as this is a general reading, you have to ask yourself that. This is saying, look, just look, relax, stop worrying, and figure out, because when we're in fear, we can't see any possibilities, right? We can't see any opportunities because we're so in fear and so in the worst case scenario, right? So how can we see possibilities when we're in fear of what's, you know, what's not happening at the time? So this is saying, really look. Also, during this time, you need to look back and see about all the good things that you've done, that you've accomplished, that you have. It's about, you know, as well, your self-worth. And sevens, I always say, are introspective. So it's quietening the mind by going inside and meditating. You'll get some clarity. You come out feeling more positive. The next card we have is the Death card, darling. And the Death card is death and rebirth. And it's an internal transformation. Don't worry about the Death card. People take it very literally. But the Death card is about something being removed. The old you. You're being asked to transform the way you view things. Your perception on life. You see here, right? This is the, you know, the death guy. And this, look, he's holding up flowers. This is the rebirth, something new. And this really goes, listen, springing into action, darling. You're all about the spring, Aries. We're going to be going into your season soon. And it's about spring forward, new beginnings. Whatever's happening for you, come out of the fear. And I know it's easier said than done, but you can start by, you know, really surrounding yourself with, first of all, do a news fast, because that's really depressing. You want to keep yourself positive at all times. You want to look at inspirational things on the television or on YouTube, things that are going to make you feel hopeful and positive. Because, listen, darling, look, this is death. Ta-da! Rebirth, the sun, darling. The sun is going to come out and shine, look. This has to go. It's darkness anyway. You've got to change the way you're perceiving life. You really have. This is internal transformation. This is. And this is. Oh! I want to sing The Sun Has to Kiss That Off. This is like, look, things will really work out for you perfectly. So this is about letting go, right, of things that no longer work for you, old paradigms, the way you're, you know, how you behave, the way you're thinking. Change that internally. You can change it a little bit at a time. You really can. It's got to go. It's dying. Like, kill it. Because look, the sun's shining and things are going to look so much brighter for you, darling. The sun's coming out. It's springtime. You're going to spring into action. You're going to feel positive. It's great. You must let that go. You must really let go of the way you've been thinking. And the next, we've got the Two of Swords, which is your decision to let go of that. It really is. It's interesting, right? Clarifying the Two of Wands, I think I said the Two of Swords, I meant the Two of Wands, is the Four of Summer, which is distractions, right? And then you've got the 11th, the Strength. Now, what's really interesting, 11 jumped out at me, and I thought 11. On the 11th, right, we have two aspects coming up, and one of them is a challenging aspect. So it can be mental frustrations, and this is about this is about self-control, right? So you have a choice here. You can, you know, you can control yourself, and you can change the way you react and respond to any kind of situation. And just remember, 11-11, it's darling, that's a message for you, Aries. That's like, take notice. This is like the power of kindness and forgiveness can help you move forward. It's just, focus on the moment. And really, this, you're going to see, this is about being distracted and not seeing the blessings in the situation. You're not seeing what's right in front of you. You see, this is what you've got to change, really. The sun is out, but you're so in fear and hanging on to old ways of thinking that you're not seeing the sun, right? So this is, it's almost like you've got to, the old you has to die. The inside, right? It's got to go. You've got to change that because things will really look up for you. And it's also about being kind, Aries. You've got to be kind this week. You've got to be sensitive. You've got to understand rather than be understood. And remember, strength, inner strength. This is about self-control, right? Controlling that urge to lash out at someone or tell them the abrasive truth, and this is a decision, this is you've got this decision to make this week. You can choose, to be in this like awful, painful place. It's kind of a painful place because it's fear, You can choose to be there or you can choose to be here in the sun. You can choose to come out of distraction and see the blessings right in front of you. You have to, this is about focusing on what you have, focusing on what you've done. Don't berate yourself either. Be kind to yourself. This is an internal, don't be critical of yourself, don't. Be kind and gentle with yourself and others. And you will see wonderful things start to happen because when we attract what we put out. Remember that. We attract what we put out. Aries, thank you so much for tuning in. Listen, if you liked or enjoyed this information or if this resonated with you, if it didn't, just leave it and keep it moving. But if it did, please give me a thumbs up. Comment. I love feedback and I read every comment. And share this on any kind of social media platform. Please follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And I have just started a Patreon page. So if you really like the content of my channel, then I would love it if you could show me some love and check out my Patreon page. The link will be in the show more section below, and it's actually on the page on my channel art. There's a link there. Just check it out. Go and see what's going on there. And I have all different levels of rewards. It's kind of exciting. So that I would really appreciate it if you did that. And if you can't do that, that's fine too. Just please, share my information and my videos on your social media platform. That would be a really huge help. So if you haven't already, please do subscribe. Listen, I love you all. Have a wonderful week. Mwah, and I'll see you next week. To inquire about or purchase any of Mary's services, please email Mary at liveinthesolution.com.